Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Luke Wilson TV podcast. We made it to episode 6, guys. You're probably going to be hearing me say that during the beginning of every episode of the Luke Wilson TV podcast, aka the Telecast, the best podcast on YouTube. Maybe not. Actually, today is a particularly greasy episode because I got back from the gym and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll shower. But I'm like, no. I want to preach a message of authenticity and honesty. And if I were to run into you in the street, this is what I would look like. Because, yeah, I don't have to make myself look good for everything. Because, sometimes you're greasy. Sometimes you got a little bit of grease or some, whatever going on, man. Sometimes your hair's not always perfect. If you guys have been around for a long time, I take my hair a little seriously, less seriously recently. And honestly, it's been working out better for me the less I care about it, which is a metaphor for life itself. We're probably going to get into that in a little bit. I literally have no idea for the topic of this podcast other than the future, because I've gone through a lot of big life changes. But before we get into that, I do want to introduce the second aspect of grease in this podcast. Boom! McDonald's. Throwback to the OG food review content on this channel. Now we're doing like education and literary analysis and all that stuff. Basically, we're just ripping off game theory at this point, but hey, it works. So yeah, thank you guys for supporting me, by the way. I really do appreciate it. The comments that say like you deserve more likes and you deserve more subscribers, oh my gosh, I thought this channel was a lot bigger, that means a lot to me, because to me that means that my ceiling is really high, and it means that I have a long way to go, which is awesome, because my dream is to do this for a career. It's pretty obvious, but I did want to say, I want to do this full time. It's so fun. I love getting in front of a camera and talking. I just love talking. It's kind of an issue for me. But yeah, another thing is they freaking forgot my medium diet, or what is it, medium Coke Zero. So we are going to be drinking a beer. Am I right? Come on, who's with me? We're drinking a Lucky Streak. The only reason that you would ever drink one of these is because they're cheap. Nobody likes these. But, they're a beer, and it's a humid summer day. It's not particularly warm or cold or anything, but it is kind of humid, so I guess I need a little bit of hydration, which I don't think alcohol is the best thing to do that with. But I'm 21. Isn't that crazy? I started doing this when I was, 2013? When I was 10 years old? No. I would have been 10 years old. I started doing YouTube when I was 10, and now I'm 21. So here's one. We're cracking open a cold one for all the people who are growing up out there in the world. This is actually crazy that I can legally drink this on camera. I don't know if it'll affect the monetization of this video, but hey, I don't care. Not a lot of people watch the podcast anyway, which is fine, because that's how podcasts are. You generally don't get a lot of people who tune in, There's always people flowing in and out of your channel at different points. A video could be popular with one group of people for a while. It could be popular with another group of people for a while. Podcasts generally are only popular for like your core audience. So all you guys out there who tune into this podcast, it really means a lot. And if you are interested in keeping up with me, I do post a lot on Instagram. I'm trying to post more on TikTok because I love just getting in front of a camera and spewing some crap. But Instagram is more of like a vibe, I post stuff on my story all the time. I post like behind the scenes stuff. It's cool. I don't know. People like it. I posted, I always feel like nobody ever looks at that, but I posted a picture of the video, before I filmed the last video, which was, a day or two ago. I posted a picture of like the whole setup, and everybody was like, what? Like all these people were liking it and stuff. So it's cool. So thank you all out there. I'm also hungry, so we're doing classic Luke Wilson TV food review type biz over here, dude. McDonald's fries, I always speak ill on them, but I am not cultured. I actually kind of like them a lot, especially when they're fresh, man. They do have like a particular taste to them. I don't know. But we also have a Big Mac. So I'm going to set this here where you guys probably can't see. But yeah, we have a Big Mac. I stand by the Big Mac. If you are visiting America, McDonald's are all over the world, actually. So, yeah, I don't know. But if you're in America, get the American version of a Big Mac because there is something here. Also, I asked for no pickle, so if there's a pickle, I'm actually going to scream at the top of my lungs. No pickle so far. No pickle there. It's making some squishy noises. Here, wait. Can we pick this up? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Maybe a little bit, but no pickle. Hell yeah. Bubble Bass would not be a fan. So I'm going to set that there. This is going to be my out. Like if I start like losing my train of thought or my like train of speech, it's food time. So yeah, I said, that I want to talk about the future, man. So, yeah, I'm graduating tomorrow from college. Crazy. I don't know if I ever talked about this on a podcast or on the channel before. But I got through college in 3 years. I was an overachiever in high school a lot. Part of it was because people outside being loud. See, I live in a city, man. Or not a city, it's a town. And I like it a lot, but I digress. I was definitely like an overachiever in high school. And, part of it was because I wanted to save money. I took a lot of higher level classes to make myself look better on paper. And I was always under the impression that, like, yeah, you gotta grind, you gotta make yourself better than the other guy so that you can get hired for a job ultimately and make money and have a stable income. But it's a good thing to follow. It's good to follow the checklist of life, or the main quest, as I call it. And this is something that I'm going to talk about in my next JoJo video that's coming out. It's crazy, you guys. You're going to think I'm freaking going insane. But yeah, you can't. The checklist is there, for you to fall back on. It's not there for you to live your life by. You can overachieve and do a million things. You can, try your hardest to be the best on paper. You can, thanks, dude. I'm just gonna ignore the city sounds. But you can try your best to follow all this stuff. I don't know, getting a stable relationship or a stable job, stability, people, or comfortability, honestly, is what people are after. But that's not, it's good, but it's also not good because you're chasing the comfortability. You're not finding it in the area that you're currently living in. If you're saying, I'll be happy after I, get this job, or I'll be happy after I earn this amount of money, or I'll be happy once I lose 10 pounds, or once I get bigger biceps or something, you're never going to be happy because you're telling yourself, I'm not happy now. I want something to make me happy. This will complete me. And it's like, no, dude, you're already complete. You've already made it past, you've already made it through so much. One of the big things that caused me to realize this is, again, if you guys have been around the channel for a while, you'll know that I was together with a girl for a long time, close to 6 years, and we actually got engaged, but we broke up. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details about it because it's, I want to respect the privacy of, me and my family and her and everything. But it really taught me that I am capable of a lot on my own. And I always thought I needed something or someone or whatever to kind of, keep me on track. But no, you don't need to be even on a track. You can literally just, I don't know, you just get up and you just live your life as a happy, honest person. And if you turn in a paper a little late, what are they going to say? I mean, it's your responsibility to get your schoolwork done on time and not sit around and party and not waste your time, laying in the grass all day. But at the same time, it's so important to do that kind of stuff, to live by the basics, I've always loved nature and going outside, but I've made more of an effort to do it, and it just feels good. I'm also a very spiritual person. I believe in Jesus Christ and the Christian Bible, but I also believe in, electromagnetic fields that connect everybody. Again, I'm kind of spoiling the next video that's coming out, but I don't know. I just feel like just be a good, positive influence on the world, for God's sake, man, and nobody can tell you otherwise. If somebody's got a problem with you for just being yourself, then you don't want to be around that person, And honestly, they'll probably learn. They'll go talk to somebody, speak ill on you, and then realize that they're the one in the wrong, whatever. But yeah, college, man, I graduate tomorrow. Made it through in 3 years, again, because I just grinded in high school. I did AP classes and stuff. For those unaware, those are college level classes you can take in high school, and then you can take an exam to get college credit. So, it's a lot of work in the class, but you're paying like $90 or something per credit. It's bonkers. It's so good to take advantage of, especially in the economy that we're in now, where, degrees are more expensive to get. But at the same time, like college, I don't know, dude. If you're looking to go to college, I hope you realize that it's not the only option. There are tons of things you can do. Again, as a person who's been living in America for a while, my parents lived in America, their parents lived in America. The way that people used to do things was they did just know somebody. You always hear it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And that's extremely true, because you have a way better chance of getting hired at a place based on somebody speaking good about you, or somebody being your cousin or your best friend or your brother or whatever. But it's like that's kind of what you should be doing. Like, you should be knowing people and getting out there and interacting with people. And I don't know. It leads to, I feel like good fortune comes to you if you put good fortune out for other people, If you tip more, if you pick up litter or whatever, it kind of changes your local environment. It inspires other people to be better. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy, but it's the truth, man. So, yeah, whatever. Also, this is not devil horns. I've been doing this a lot lately, and it is not devil horns. It's just rock and roll or whatever. I mean, maybe it's devil horns. I don't know, dude, but whatever. Whatever you want to do. Okay, it's sandwich time. I need to come up with something else to talk about. I'll just talk more about graduation, honestly. You guys, wow, this is really a throwback. Eating freaking McDonald's. What was that quote from the one commercial? McDonald's, what was it? Something McDonald's. Birdie. You can go find it for yourself. Because I ain't editing this shit, man. This is raw. Yeah. Okay, so graduation, right? It is coming up tomorrow. My parents are coming up, moving me out. Man, it's crazy. I got out of here in 3 years. I said that a million times. I'll finally conclude that point with the final brick in the wall. Not a Pink Floyd reference. I took some, it's called dual enrollment classes. So AP classes are taught by teachers at your school, at your high school. And then dual enrollment classes it's curriculum provided by a local college. So you can take it, again, super cheap per credit. And yeah, I took like psychology, sociology, government, all these like random subjects and electives, and got a bunch of credit for them. And I came into college with 24 credits, which is like almost a whole year. Then again, kind of overachieved a little bit. Also my major, which is media and journalism. Obviously, I mean, maybe not obviously, but it makes sense because I do YouTube. Yeah. I was able to take some online classes that were, 3 credits, but they were online, so it wasn't even really any extra work for me. And I finished in 3 years. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Leaving all these people behind, but not actually. I feel really sad that I'm leaving town because I have a bunch of friends who are still, going to be around. But at the same time, like, next semester, some people are graduating. The next semester after that, some people are staying for 9th or 10th semesters. So, I mean, everybody's just kind of getting broken up, and I'm just one of the first people to kind of set the trend. But yeah, I don't know. I'm working in the area, so that's nice. I'll be back and forth from home. Hopefully, I will be, able to have the time and the, energy to come out and visit, my friends. I already drive. BBC Vlogs and editor Eli, I always drive out and see them in Palmerton. Not always, but when I can. So I'm used to driving to see my friends, But yeah, it's just crazy, man. The future, like, I never thought I was ready for it, but recently I just found, like, this kind of, inner strength. It sounds really cheesy, but it's true, I think life is not a journey to, the next step of life. It's not a staircase of, school, degree, job, marriage, kids, retirement, death. Like, okay, I mean, yes, that's what happens in life, but, it's more fun to live your life, by challenging yourself. Like, I thought traveling abroad was a little overrated. Like, I didn't get it. I respected it, and I love other countries. One of the first series I did on this channel was foreign foods, right? I would try like foreign foods. I love all that stuff because I love getting other perspectives. But again, it's like it didn't totally internalize until lately. And it's kind of crazy, you grow up. It's like, it's weird. I feel like my whole life has kind of been documented on this channel. And yeah, I don't know. I want to talk about the future of this podcast, though, for real. So This is the Telecast, and I'm one guy. Now, one of the reasons why I didn't want to record this podcast, I was kind of back and forth today. I didn't want to record it because I want to have guests on, right? Brady Rupert, he was on the last episode. I've been asking him to come back. Things have just been busy. I got another local guy who does content, goes to school here, and again, like, things just kind of fall through. But yeah, if you are like a content creator or you're into this kind of conversation and stuff, definitely hit me up, probably on Instagram or on email, because I want this podcast to be about guests. I feel like I have good interview skills. I also feel like I can, carry a conversation and speak pretty well. But yeah, I think I can ask people good questions and really dig into like the interesting sides of people, because I've had experience interviewing people for one of my internships. I made like documentary style interviews, and yeah, I got a little bit, kind of taste of that, at least like the logistical, set up the camera, do this and that. And then I took some more I took a conversation class this semester, which was really cool. It was based in like Greek rhetoric and stuff, and it was a big circle of people. You just sit around and, shoot the shit, talk about, all kinds of stuff, whatever you want to. I was always bringing up like crazy stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just think, I'm envisioning like, because I see a lot of people really making their way on the internet. People like Joe Rogan, obviously everybody sees him as like the podcast dude. Did somebody just smash their car, dude? I don't know, dude. Somebody was out there screaming, and it sounded like they either dropped like a TV or like smashed into a car. It was definitely like a plastic crunch. But yeah, Joe Rogan. I was also watching like Kill Tony, which is like a very offensive, but also like, it's like an internet show. I want this to be really produced. Unfortunately, I do not have the ownership of land or a building to have like a studio set up, but I think this does the trick for now. But yeah, I want to get just all kinds of interesting people on. I want to talk about crazy concepts and, ultimately just spark conversation. I want to change people's perspectives, and I want to educate people, not according to my will, but, I do find educational content really interesting. It's what I'm trying to do with my content now, I like keeping things fun and lighthearted, but I want to learn stuff, and I want to share that with the world, and I want everybody to get smarter. I mean, we have the whole freaking internet. Who's going to be the one to go out there and start teaching people about what they find, I want to do it. I want to share information and perspectives, and I love getting proved wrong. I love when somebody completely debunks my whole point or perspective, because it's just like, what? Damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hope you all out there know what I'm saying. But, yeah. I'm going to eat some more fries, not because I'm losing conversation. Actually, I kind of am. What else about the future? Well, we talked about my future, kind of. We talked about the future of this podcast. Let's talk about the future of the world. So, the economy is pretty messed up. Now, I'm investing in crypto because I'm a freaking greaseball who subscribes to crypto. But no, I actually believe in it. There's one... Again, don't go invest your money based on what I'm saying, because I'm just a guy on the camera. But there's Telegram, right? Telegram and Meta. I think that they are up to something. I suspect that they are brewing something in the background. So, first of all, Telegram it's an encrypted messaging platform, right? At least I think that's how it works. But people use it for privacy, which they use it for bad stuff. But also, it's privacy. It's like, it's like, I don't know, going to an apartment and having a conversation instead of having it in the street. So, yeah, I never support anything negative, but I do think encrypted messaging is important in an era where, people are surveying you all the time, whether it's the CIA stalking you to get information or, social media companies trying to profile you so they can advertise to you better. So, Telegram, though, is used by a lot of people in countries with oppressive governments. So, like, Asia, right? Like, China is pretty, their government's pretty strict, right? I don't know. From what I hear, what I see, I think it's pretty bad. But there's a lot of people who use Telegram, and wouldn't you know it, they bought an encrypted cryptocurrency called it was called Gram, I think, and they changed it to Toncoin, Telegram Open Network, right, or Telegram Online Network, one of those two. But that I when I saw that, some bells went off in my head, because we are approaching an like cell phones are also getting to a certain point now. And AI, I could talk about AI all day. I took a class in it. I'm like a certified expert in that as of right now. Tomorrow, I could not be an expert, though, because something crazy could happen. But my theory about this Telegram thing is that they're going to invent some kind of phone that is really cheap and has, it has all the basics on it. It's got internet access. It's got AI, which is, cheap to install in something now, which is freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. But yeah, a phone with all the basics. You got social media access / internet access. You got messaging, phone, text, whatever. Maybe basic app support, which could tie into the social media. You got financial stuff. So that's where the cryptocurrency comes in, because people use their phones to pay for stuff now. They tap their phone at the gas station. I mean, I do that. I use Venmo all the time, peer-to-peer transaction. I use crypto and Cash App to, invest and hold my, asset, or to invest in assets instead of investing in the U.S. dollar, which, dang, bro, the U.S. dollar, am I right? That thing's really going into the freaking toilet, man. How much debt do we have at this point? Like, I can't believe people are still holding on to it, but it's because it's so embedded in the world economy, right? So many people do transactions with U.S. dollar. It's crazy. I really, truly believe that America is the Roman Empire of our generation, or not even generation, of this time in history. They're going to look back on the United States as like this, this like hyper Rome. It's going to boom, 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 and then just bam, all into the drain. Because, I mean, when you think about it, our reach extends globally. We're funding wars in foreign countries. Oh, shouldn't say that. Even though we've always had international relations, but yeah, we fund a lot of stuff overseas. We get a lot of labor overseas. We get a lot of slavery to support our businesses. Unfortunately, you got like sweatshops and stuff. And yeah, I mean, we're just branching out so much, and America is the center of the global culture, kind of. We're like the freaking popular girl in high school that everybody's like, oh my gosh, like what's she on today? You know what I'm saying? And our history too is just we don't have like as much of an identity. There's like beer and trucks and flags and guns and stuff, and like hell yeah, but but I mean, like, I don't know, it's really everything. Everybody came here from all these different places. You got the Native Americans who started here. You got the European culture from when they, you got like the British dudes and the Puritans and stuff. You got like Mormons, you got all the slavery stuff that happened, and then all of the freed slaves that influenced like pop culture, stuff like that. You got island people down in the South, you got Mexico and Texas, you got, I don't know, North Dakota, all the Canada dudes, you got Italian immigrants, you got like, New Jersey, Long Island, all the like, Italian and like Jewish, influence up in there. You got Pennsylvania Dutch. That's me. I'm part German, but yeah, I'm from Pennsylvania. Hell yeah, Pennsylvania. Eat my sauerkraut and stuff. Yeah, whatever. I do that once a year, actually. Not a lie. But yeah, so many people have all these different opinions on American culture, and it is kind of specific to your state or your region, but I don't know. It's like hard to kind of pinpoint it. We're just pulling from everywhere. And this country has just expanded at such a crazy rate. It's and our what caused Rome to fail, right? Bad government. Okay, we have that. Debased currency. Okay, that's two. What else about Rome? I don't know. They promoted a lot of bad moral values, which I guess, I mean, the United States doesn't explicitly do that, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know. The culture's like, there is like a small war in the culture, as people would call it, culture war, whatever. But I don't know. I just see the United States as like this massive empire that we're gonna look back on and be like, whew, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm just going on a tangent here, but that's the future for me, I guess. So I want to make my stake online because I think the internet is like a place, you know? I don't know where I said it. It might have been on TikTok, but like people my age grew up on the internet. So we have like citizenship there. You know what I'm saying? Like we know the culture. We've experienced world events online and seen everybody's reactions. You know, there's comment sections where people can, you know, throw around comments and, you know, get appreciation. A lot of people just have a voice online. It's really a crazy place. I hope the internet doesn't get blown out by a solar flare like tomorrow because that would be really unfortunate. But I see it as the future, you know? I want to make my stake online. I want to get a good podcast going. I want to make some quality content. I want to increase my value as a person. You know, yes, I have the degree and all that, but I want to be smart. Like, I want to get smarter. I want to get, you know, credibility. I want to show people that I'm, like, worth it and in turn believe more that I'm worth it, you know? And I don't know. I mean, you probably know what I'm saying, or maybe not, you know? I don't know. But I think it's time for another bite of the Big Mac. Bobbity bop. You know, I just thought about the beach. So let's talk about the beach. I love it. I think that we as humans have a kind of connection with the beach, or at least with the ocean. Now, okay. Now we're getting into some bigger topics here. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I need to express my desire for pirate adventure. So, half of the world is ocean. Seriously, if you take a globe and look at half of the Earth, it's literally an ocean. So, in theory, we could take all the people on one side of the Earth, put them all on a bunch of pirate ships, and populate the other side of the Earth. Or we could just take half the population, put them on the ocean, dude. I mean, seriously. That's why some places like Japan, you know, they just see the ocean as just this endless thing. Because, yeah, you have to go halfway around the Earth to, like, get to land again, right? I don't know. I don't know where Hawaii is, if it's, like, in the middle of the Pacific or what. But one of my dreams is to somehow build or acquire a pirate ship or become part of a crew and go on a pirate adventure. I think the ocean is kind of like a metaphor for people's spiritual journeys. I've never read The Life of Pi, but I think tigers are cool. But that probably has something to do with this, you know, this thematic stuff that I'm talking about here. Because, like, I don't know, I think of life as like rivers, you know? Everybody's on a different path, and some people intersect, and some people, you know, stay together for a while, and some people exist in parallel, and they never quite intersect, you know? I'm sure you can think of examples in your own life. Some people follow the exact same path, and then they end up together, and it's like, oh my gosh, and then, oh no, but then we follow the same path again, you know, whatever. But basically, I don't know. I like water. I think it's a good metaphor for a lot of things. And the ocean is just like, you're out in the ocean, man. There's so much for you to explore. You know, you can travel. You can work towards something for your whole life and never reach an island, you know? But I don't know. I'm also just a sucker for pirates. I like Zelda Wind Waker. Awesome game. Go play that if you want some good old-fashioned pirate fun. There's also this thing in Myrtle Beach. It's like, you know, medieval times, right? No? Okay, well, let me explain it to you. So, medieval times is like an old English castle show thing that you pay to go to. So, it's like I don't even know how you describe it. It's not like a Ren fair. It's not like a fair. It's like a trampoline park, but instead of trampolines, there's jousting, and instead of socks with grippers on the bottom, there's like plastic swords and even real swords. You get a crown, just like Burger King, when you leave. Yeah, I don't know. But basically, I went there for a school trip, and you go there, and, you know, you're all standing around. It's like, oh my gosh, there's the gift shop over there. And there was like a Master Sword there from Zelda. I was like, I want to get that, but too expensive. And also, I don't know if I would be allowed to bring a sword on the bus with me back home. The recording stopped like 2 seconds ago, but we are back. My camera, I guess, cuts it off at a half hour, which is crazy. We're already like halfway through this podcast, right? Gave me an opportunity to grab a few more fries. I need to finish these by the end of the podcast, honestly. So I think we'll do like maybe like a game out of it or something. I don't know. But yeah, so we went to medieval times. You go there, you stand around, you wait in line. It's like a warehouse that they build these things in, I'm pretty sure. But you enter this arena and you sit like, it's like, yeah, you're like sitting in like an old fashioned like castle themed arena. There's different nights that you know, depending on where you're sitting in the audience, you like have different nights. There was like this big anti-bullying message, which was kind of lame, but I understand. But it was also kind of lame because it was like, bruh, I don't care about the blue knight being bullied by the black knight. And it's like, you know, bro, just give me my goddamn chicken leg, okay? And they do have big freaking turkey legs or chicken leg, probably turkey legs. Those are a little more meaty. They give you like mashed potatoes and stuff. I don't even think they give you silverware. You just kind of gotta figure it out, man. But yeah, you dip your bread in the mashed potatoes or whatever, man. I don't know. What doesn't make sense to me is actually, no, that's not what I want to say. Silverware comes from farm tools. Isn't that interesting? That's a fun fact I say at parties. Pitchfork got condensed into small fork. Shovel got condensed into spoon. Saw got condensed into knife. And that's about it, I guess. Giant stick got turned into chopsticks. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not the expert on tools. Maybe I am. I don't know. But yeah, so no silverware. I guess, which was kind of a weird thing now that I think about it. They probably give out silverware nowadays. They're you know, I think they're kind of moving away from the authenticity, which it pisses me off. But it's okay because now we're circling back to the real thing I wanted to talk about: pirate adventure. It is medieval times, but instead of knights and horses, it's pirates. Yeah, that sounds awesome, doesn't it? If it doesn't, then let me try and convince you. Pirates are really cool. They are on the ocean. They don't care about rules or anything. They live by their own code. They have a crew. It's like it's literally just organized crime, but on the ocean and cooler. Honestly, if I had a choice between Pirates of the Caribbean and The Godfather, I've actually never seen Pirates of the Caribbean, so maybe I should do that after I'm done filming this. Give me something to eat with my Big Mac that I've taken 2 bites out of in 35 minutes plus the half hour that came before, you know, between me ordering it and getting back here. Yeah, I don't know, man, but pirates, I just have a thing about them, not a thing for them. Well, maybe, I don't know. See, I'm single now, so I can talk about that. Low key, maybe that's the way to my heart. Maybe I'll meet a lass when I go to pirate adventure, you know? I don't know, dude. Pirates are cool, so that's my message with that. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about pirates, so I'm going to take a bite of my sandwich and think of something else to talk about. Man. Oh, the beach, right? Yeah, I don't want to talk about the beach because I feel like I would be sounding kind of self-centered, and now I have to talk about it, so whatever. Luke, you're asking me, why would talking about the beach make you sound self-centered? Well, inquisitive YouTube commenter, I'm going to lick my fingers because you know what? This is what I do in real life. Just imagine that you're on a date with me. Honestly, this is just like date experience with Luke Wilson TV. So if you like me, swipe left or right. I don't know. I never had Tinder, and I don't really intend on getting Tinder. Sorry, now I gotta blow my nose. Okay, so I was gonna talk about the beach, right? So, for some context, one of the reasons why I don't like the government that much, which is not entirely true. I think the government does some good stuff for us, but also there's some bad people in there who've done some bad things, especially to my family. We lost a lot of money during the 2008 recession, and it was bad. But we've worked our way back up, and I mean, it's not like it's that big of a deal. You know, you just go through life, whatever. But we got a really good deal on a property in South Carolina, which we built on. I mean, I'm saying I didn't do shit, man. Actually, that's not true. I did do some stuff, but the majority of it was done by my parents and my uncle. And yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it because of privacy, but yeah, it's a place in Myrtle Beach. It's like a house that I can go to, and I want to move there in the future too. So if there are any content creators out there who are going to be based in Myrtle Beach or who are around that area, definitely hit me up, dude, because I want to like collab and stuff, man. I want to get out there and meet people and learn and stuff, man. Like, I used to be so introverted, but now I'm just all about just meeting people, you know? Because, like, I'm not going to fight with you if we disagree. Even if we literally disagree on every single thing under the sun, like fundamental stuff. Even if you tell me that you don't like my name or my look, or if you just flat out insult me or even punch me in the face. I mean, if you attack me, I'll fight back and defend myself. But I'm not about fighting, man. So, yeah, I just, you know, what is that? You ever heard The Girl Is Mine, where he's like, I already told you, I'm a lover, not a fighter? Or what is it? Who says that? Michael. I just did the Michael Jackson impression, but it could have been the other guy, Paul. Paul Mafartney. Sorry, Paul. Respect. But yeah, what was I even saying? Something about, I don't know, dude. Sandwich time. Oh, the beach. The beach. So, talking about this beach house makes me feel kind of self-centered, but I know I'm not self-centered. I mean, maybe I am a little bit. Actually, maybe a little more than a little bit. Listen, I'm working on it. Admitting is the first step. Ain't nobody perfect. So, yeah, it's this awesome property, and it's just down there, and whenever people aren't renting, I can go down there. And, yeah, I want to do that this summer a lot. I love the beach. I would never smoke a cigarette. I tried it one time and got really sick. But I do like the smell of cigarettes on the beach, the ambiance that it gives, the screaming children and broken glass. Whatever. Public beaches are not that bad. I love them. I just love the beach, man. How can you not? The ocean waves, dude. That's literally in the Gateway tapes, which I will talk about in a second. But yeah, I mean, just it's so meditative and. You know, you get the sun on your skin, you get a tan going, you know, give yourself a little bit of skin cancer. I mean, you're already breathing in the cigarette smoke, so whatever. But no, just the hot sun and the hot air, but then you get the cool breeze from the ocean. I seriously, I know that humans are supposed to live near bodies of water, but I truly, well, maybe not truly. I like 85% believe that like the beach is the natural habitat for human beings. Seriously. I don't know. What does that say to Icelanders? Well, I guess, you know, Iceland, which is a place that I've been, they have like the highest rate of antidepressants or something. They're one of the happiest nations in the world, but they have a lot of antidepressants. So, yeah. Who's really winning? The pharmacy companies or the people, man? Whatever. I'm just a big advocate for the beach. I used to go. I'll tell you every beach I've ever been to. Maybe not every beach I've ever been to, but. Yeah, I mean, I live in Pennsylvania, so we got access to New Jersey, which has got some nice beaches, some also less than stellar beaches. The whole Jersey Shore thing, you know, that show with Snooki and the freaking, yeah, all that really did a lot to the New Jersey beach area. A culture, I guess, is what I should be saying. Yeah, I don't know. But again, it's like I'm not bothered by it because I'm just there to lay in the sand and stuff. And it's like if people are going to blast some music and be a little obnoxious and twerk, you know, half naked on their boyfriends in front of the freaking shirt shop that has those like he's mine and him's shirts with the arrows and Bart Simpson, you know, doing shrooms, smoking a J, like on a t-shirt. You know, does anybody ever buy those or wear those? I kind of want to buy them and start wearing them, like ironically, but then it might actually become not ironic because like, I don't know. I mean, they're cool in some respect, but also, like, I don't want to promote substance abuse on this channel, even though I'm drinking a beer. But I'm not abusing this beer. I've only had, like, one sip. So, any of you who are like, oh, he's just getting drunk and ranting on camera, I am not. Here's to another sip of this disgusting beer. That's not actually that disgusting, but I don't know, man. New Jersey beaches are all right. I've been to, haven't been to Long Beach Island. Been to Point Pleasant. Been to Seaside Heights, both very nice. Ocean City, New Jersey, haven't been there in a while, but that was always nice. Ocean City, Maryland, that place is banging, dude. I love that place. It's a little bit far of a drive for me, but I just love it, man. they have this big long strip. So normally beaches have like boardwalks. That's one of the things I love about the beach is the boardwalk. You know, you burn your feet on the boardwalk, and then you walk in the sand and you burn your feet on that too, and then your feet get a lot stronger, which is a nice metaphor for life because every time you get burned, you get a little more strong. I was gonna say calloused, but that has a negative thing. Don't let your suffering let you become entitled, please. If something wrong happens to you, do not use it as justification for doing wrong things to other people or basically saying I can do no wrong, because I don't know, we're supposed to grow from our suffering, man. That's all part of the thing of the journey of life I was talking about. You know, you're not on this planet to get to retirement. You know, you're on this planet to become enlightened and to become a loving, peaceful person. You know, it's this stuff you work your whole life for, and eventually you'll get there. But yeah, I don't know, you just got to keep on top of it. I don't know. But I digress. Burning your feet on the boardwalk is a great experience for those who are not too afraid to try it out. It's like spicy food. It's good for you. You know, it's like an antioxidant or something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Everything I just said in the past, like, 15 seconds, disregard. But what Ocean City, Maryland they have a really nice boardwalk, but they also have just this big strip, this big street that has it goes for like 3 miles or something, but it's awesome. There's all sorts of stuff there. There's restaurants, there's fish taco places. I love fish tacos. I love tacos too. Any kind of Mexican food, Tex-Mex food, Taco Bell, even Chipotle, pineapple salsa, pineapple on pizza, SpongeBob, Bob the Builder, Build-A-Bear, Bear Creek Mountain Resort. Now that's a place I could talk about, but I'm not going to. I will save it for next time. Actually, I'll give a little bit of it. So we just talked about the beach. Now let's talk about Bear Creek. It's this skiing place that's near where I live. And again, I was like, skiing, like, what's up with that, man? What is this, Dumb and Dumber? Are we going to, like, go find a freaking briefcase and deliver it to the woman of our dreams or something like that? No, that's not what you do at the ski lodge place. You ski there. And I never skied before, but I did go... What did I even do when I was there? We went up in, like, it was me and a few friends from high school that I still keep in touch with. Shout out Dawson and Nick and whoever else was there. But yeah, it was like February or March. It was pretty chilly out, but we were in the hot tub. And that's one of the only things I remember. We were like in the pool and in the hot tub. And it was like, yeah, the air's so cold and the mountain's all covered in snow, but we're in a hot tub. So that was cool. And then I went back there again to do snow tubing. And that was fun. But also, I think it might have given me like, what do they call that? Something. There's some kind of thing that football players get when they smack their head really hard. I got that, probably, because every time you'd go down the hill, it was this big freaking hill, and you'd, like, spin around like crazy. And, yeah, you would get just spun out, man. Your brain would start, like, detaching from the spinal cord, and, yeah, your eyes would be going, like, 1,000,000 miles an hour in circles. It was fun, though. I liked it. I had fun. And I got going pretty fast. You know, I'm one of the people who loves to just go fast and wipe out, which maybe speaks to my character. But, yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Now back to the warmer side of this conversation that I'm having with myself and you, dear viewer. Virginia Beach is another beach that I really love. They used to have those bird scooters. They are, I mean, you probably know if you know, but I'll explain it for those who don't. So... it's like those community bike apps where you can see GPS locations of like different different things that are around the city, different bikes, but in this case they were called birds, and they were electric scooters, right? So at the end of the night, people would drive around in their pickup trucks and collect these things and deliver them for whatever commission. Maybe they were on the clock, I don't know, but the idea was that like hey, let's just go somewhere. And it's like, okay, let's find the nearest scooter. Okay, there's one down the block. Okay. So, you walk down the block, grab the scooter, you find the next one, you drive to the next one, and then, you and your buddy got scooters now. And then you can drive all over town. And I don't know if it's by the mile or by the minute or what, but you pay in the app. And it's a really cool idea. Really, really cool. But as you know, we can't have nice things. So they were gone within a couple years because people under the age of 18 were riding them. I was one of those people. But I was responsible, and I messed around with those kinds of things before, so I knew what I was doing. But there were like young kids riding those, and people were wiping out, hitting cars and stuff. It's just like, it makes me so sad for the future because I want to have this advanced technology everywhere. You know, I'm a big technology guy. I love, even though you get spied on, I think that technology is amazing, and it's a gift that we were given to make our lives cooler and easier and more fun and better and whatever. But yeah, I guess it's just one of those things where you got to kind of own your own scooter, Same thing with drones. I think like Amazon trying to do delivery with drones, it's not a good idea because all of that is on Amazon. And I think what would be more ideal is if people could own their own drones or own their own electric scooters. But I don't know. Maybe I should get an electric scooter. I've been thinking about building a mini bike this summer, so maybe I'll do that. I'll document that on the second channel. But I don't know. I just think like it's so hard to control that kind of stuff, and when there's legality involved, when the accountability is on is on a bigger company, it's a lot harder to do that. And then over time, they just are forced to get rid of them because, they're the ones to blame for all these accidents, even though people are driving drunk or driving like jackasses, running into stuff. It's like, it bothers me. It really does. I just, I believe in the power of good and bad influence and your effect on the wider humanity, that you're surrounded by. If you're, like I said earlier, if you're a good person, people around you are going to be better people. And if you're a bad person, other people around you are, whatever, they're going to be bad people again. Not to quote Kanye again, because I've been quoting Kanye here and there, but what is it? He said, like, maybe it's devil in a new dress, but he says basically that this girl, she says that she has like religion, right? She says like, oh, I'm a Christian or whatever. But it's like, oh, I seen good Christians make bad decisions. Oh, she do it, whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's like, perfect example. You see somebody doing something bad and it validates your bad decisions, and people want to do bad things with other people to validate those bad decisions, That's why if you're at a party and some freaking loser offers you like some hard drugs or something, it's not because he wants to be your friend. It's because he wants to feel better about doing those drugs himself, honestly. And maybe a slap in the face, not physical, but metaphorical. Maybe that's what that dude needs. I don't know. But I digress. I do not know what I was talking about. So maybe it's time to jump to a new topic, which means I get to take another bite of my sandwich. Hell yeah. I don't even know, dude. Are we calling it here? I don't know if there's anything else I can talk about. There certainly is. Talk about AI a little bit and robotics, since we are talking about the future in this episode of the Luke Wilson TV podcast. The future, man. AI is just amazing. I mean, I'm not afraid of it because I understand it. That's like, if you don't want to be afraid of something, understand it, right? That's part of the reason why I'm trying to teach people about things online. I want people to be smarter and stronger and more capable. I want them to believe that and internalize that and go out and do their own good things for the world. It's kind of like a pay it forward type thing. Maybe I'm just deluded and I'm going to become a cynical asshole again in 5 years. But for now, I think I'm doing a good thing. So no one can stop me. Not even my future self or my future opinions of my past self, which have in a lot of cases been bad. I look back on myself and I'm like, oh, cringe, but I was having a good time, and I was just a kid. I still am just a kid, and I will always be. So, bada boom. That's your salad for today. Yeah, what was I even talking about? See, I keep this is the part of the podcast where I start losing my train of thought. We were talking about AI, so let's continue on. I think that AI, again, to speak on the value of truth and honesty and transparency, I think AI, and in conjunction with that, social media algorithms show us the sides of ourselves that we don't want to see, which is extremely important. It's like one of the biggest things in life. That's the whole concept of like sin, right? In the Bible is like, it's this part of yourself that you don't want to believe is there, but it is. We all have selfish and immoral, desires to some extent. We all have problems and we all have this and that. We've all been through the ringer a few times, some more than others, whatever. But, I think that something like a social media algorithm, it'll suggest to you content, right? And it's like, you're the one to blame because you're the one watching it, or you're the one liking it or visiting a profile or whatever. And it's like that all gets calculated into this algorithm, and it puts out, it profiles you, man. It literally says, like, is it boy or girl? Boom. Age 18, 21, 25, whatever. Boom. Location, boom. All this stuff it has. And then on top of that, it's like, how many seconds did they view watching this post? Okay, well, what kind of post is it? Okay, well, what does that tell us about this person? Whatever. So they create these profiles on you. And that's why a lot of times it feels like they're spying on you or stalking you. And sometimes they are, to be honest. I definitely, again, like, I have a media degree now, so I can speak with some level of experience. But also just, I've been on top of this stuff my whole life. So I was going to say blow me, but that's not appropriate. So screw you, I guess. That's a little more acceptable. If you don't think that I can speak on social media. Because, I mean, again, I'm not the most experienced ever, but I think I know enough to confidently say things and defend myself. But yeah, it's just they profile you. And it's scary, to think that. But at the same time, that's such a useful tool to see what you like and what you respond to. It's like, oh, I don't like getting suggested these crappy memes. Maybe you just like crappy memes, dude. Don't know. But, again, not to speak on anybody's taste in memes, okay? I'm a little snobby when it comes to memes or movies or anything, actually. But I don't know. I just think it's because you need to have a clear effort in everything that you do. And when people do... Okay, reposting memes is funny in the right context, but it's like, dude, like this meme was popular, like, last year, and everybody posted it, and everybody's still posting it. Like... You gotta have some self-awareness, or at least put a freaking funny song over top of it, or do some kind of do something transformative to it. I don't know. Same thing with movies. It's like, I hopped off the Disney train because they just didn't care, and you can't argue with that. They just did not care enough. Maybe they thought they did, but I think that they were stopping at some point. They weren't digging deeper. They weren't researching what the fans like. They weren't, I don't know, they weren't respecting the franchises, things like that. If somebody, just say Mr. Beast gives me his channel tomorrow, right? Yeah, I could keep it going for a little bit. Obviously not. Okay, Mr. Beast is a bad example. Think of like a popular YouTuber, or like, okay, Joe Rogan's podcast, right? If he gave me everything he owned and said, okay, bro, this is all you now, I could keep it going for a little bit, but without knowing the, like, community in his audience, and without knowing his drive and his passion and his heart, without knowing all that stuff, it would never be the same. And that's what I think a lot of the problem is with these, with Marvel movies and Star Wars, Marvel and Star Wars, two things that I like for a while, that I have not really kept up with. But the old stuff, I still like the old stuff. It's because they just, the name carried them so far, but they didn't know what it was all about. They really didn't. And, when they say, oh, it's Star Wars fans are just a bunch of nerds anyway, it's like, well, exactly. Like, that's the whole point. It's it's super nerdy, intensely written dialogue that people can just sit and talk about for hours and theorize over. That's what anime is now, dude. And I'm going to do a video about this in the future. I have a really funny title for it, and I guess I'll spoil it now because y'all watching this are the real ones. So it's going to be called Japan Declares War on Western Comics, right? Funny, good tagline, good reference to an old newspaper. Japan Declares War, right? It's something my graphic design teacher, professor, used to say, when we would put big, bold text on stuff. He's like, it doesn't have to be Japan Declares War. But in some cases, it does, because you need to have a good message, man, that's readable, legible, and communicates the importance and largeness of your message. But, yeah, it's just a lot of Japanese, like, cinema, I guess, movies. I haven't seen a lot of Japanese movies, but I've watched some anime, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a great example of this. It's like deep concepts and philosophies and things, and that's the basis of science fiction. It's science. It's densely, completely understood physics, right? Like quantum field theory, another thing I'm bringing up in the next video. I'm just looking over at my board over there. I got all kinds of stuff written on it, but quantum field theory's on there. Or like Star Trek. The reason the nerds like it so much is because it's so well made and it's so accurate and it's so like grossly in depth that it's just amazing, and you have to appreciate the effort they put into it. And Marvel and old superhero comics were like that. There was scientific explanations and backing for everything. It wasn't just, oh, well, you can just do this, or they fly now. It's like, bro, explain the lore behind the stormtroopers flying, bro. Where do they get jetpacks from? Like, I want to know. And that's another 10 minutes even, like, that you could add to your movie, when I'm writing videos and stuff, when I'm writing scripts, because I script everything now. I write it the way I would speak it because I don't like being very robotic, and I also add in stuff as I read it, but I find little bits that I can expand on. You got like, I think of it like a cookie or like a pretzel, right? Like, every little piece of salt is like, boom, you can expand and explode and stretch that out. And like, I don't know, you can really, and it's not padding because you're finding stuff to expand upon that the audience definitely cares about. And when it's in this like science fiction type stuff, like superheroes or Star Wars or whatever, people eat that shit up, man. It's awesome. That's why I watched Dune for the first time. I didn't see Dune 2, but I watched Dune 1. And same thing. I don't need to know how all the governments work and stuff, but the very fact that they explain that, it just makes it a million times better. And, in the future, they're setting up so much more that they could expand on, It's just how you make a good freaking solid story, dude. Like, storytelling is so important. And it's a skill that is lost in the modern era, I think. Maybe not lost. That sounds a little dramatic. I think people are kind of rediscovering what it actually is, especially through stuff like anime, man. Because, like, how is it so good? It's because there was just so much love and effort put into it. And it's very clear. You don't even need to think twice about the question of whether, Attack on Titan had effort put into it. Because it speaks for itself, man. The animation's amazing. The writing is amazing. Some of the voice acting is not there, and some, it's a little repetitive and dramatic at times where it's like, especially like Armin or like Mikasa, like the drama's a little bit played up. But again, that's just my personal taste, so don't hate me for it, because I'm not hating you for liking it. It's like, whatever. But yeah, I'm really, and I've had conversations with people too, I really think that people's perspectives are starting to shift on everything. Not only are people starting to see the value of just the basics of human life, like getting outside, having good, loving relationships, being honest and down to earth instead of being fake and abiding by some stupid system, like even emails and stuff. Like, I'm so tired of the formalities, and I understand you got to be professional, but like I want to have a conversation. Like, I'm not here to be like, I'm not going to put myself in a freaking square, man. Like, I'm just going to be myself. And like, I don't know, people respect that. I respect people who can be their whole honest selves all the time. And in like elementary school and middle school, it's really hard to do that because nobody seems to recognize that. And it's why middle school sucks for a lot of people, because it's like the first couple people are kind of becoming aware of all the BS. And yeah, I don't know. You just find your people, I don't know. Somebody in one of my classes said, your chosen family. That's what it is. Yeah, you have your family, right? I love my family. I'm lucky enough to have an awesome relationship with my family. Some people don't. That's just the way it is. But you you choose the people that you want to associate with. You're the sum of the people that you associate with. I don't know. Yeah, just be honest and loving. And if people aren't gonna accept you for you, then they probably aren't accepting themselves for themselves either. So, yeah. We are actually approaching 1 hour on this podcast. I cannot believe it. So let me know what you guys think of this. If you like me just ranting for an hour, eating food, having a beer. Peter, drinking a beer. I don't know, man. This was a good time. So thank you guys for stopping in. And checking in a little bit, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Hopefully we will ramp up the quality and the guest number in the future. So thank you all for watching. Love you guys. Peace and love.